numerical.
Ah, okay, fine. Okay, we will take up that numerical later on, right? So I think that numerical is very easy. You guys can practice yourself. Otherwise, we will take up it at the end of lecture, right? So let me today start with this velocity analysis. So let us first of all discuss what do you mean by absolute and relative motion, right? So I'm starting from very basics. So even if you have forgot your algebra or with this vectorial approaches, right? So then also you can recapitulate. So I'm starting with very, very basic things, right? So first of all, absolute motion. Then we will talk of relative motion. Okay, so just tell me, what do you mean by absolute motion of a body?
A motion with any stationary object, related motion with any stationary object.
Right. So absolute motion is simply the motion of a body, right, with respect to fixed frame of reference, or you can simply say the stationary frame of reference. Right. So let us say if we are on Earth, right, and if let's say I'm running towards a particular destination, right, so then my motion, the motion of my body relative to Earth, right, that will be termed as absolute motion, right? So now what we are basically doing, we are fixing our frame of reference to the Earth, right? But in actual, okay, so many a times like people get confused here also. So that's why like I'm mentioning this thing again. So in actual, is the Earth stationary?
No, sir.
No. So you can guess that all motions, actually all motions, right? Motion of all the bodies on Earth, it is a relative motion. But what we do, since we fix our frame of reference to the Earth, right? So we can treat that frame of reference as a stationary frame of reference. So now when we define the motion of a body with respect to a fixed frame of reference that can be fixed to the Earth, then we term that motion as absolute motion. But in actual, no motion is absolute, right? Because the Earth is also rotating, correct? So, correct. Now, let us talk of relative motion. So, what is a relative motion? So, can anyone define?
Or motion of a moving body with respect to the motion of another moving body.
So very good, right? So in another words, you can simply say that motion of a body with respect to a moving frame of reference. That's it, right? So moving frame of reference, or you can say that simply that motion of a body relative to another body, right? Moving with respect to it, correct? So this is obvious. So if let's say I go into slightly deeper, right? So many times like, okay, fine, I have mentioned that, okay, motion of a body with respect to a moving frame of reference, or simply say if two bodies are moving with respect to each other, so we can say that this body is moving relative to another body, right? So this is fine, but just tell me that what is meant by moving frame of reference, right? So can you just give me one example that what are the two types of frame of reference that we can assume as, while it is, let's say, like moving. So can anyone just tell me? So this is simple physics. So I just don't. Yeah.
So racing between two cars or bikes.
Okay. So, okay, one is car. Okay, so I'm let me repeat my question. So I'm just asking. So have you studied this thing in physics? Let's say like there are two types of moving frame of reference that can be assumed in physics. So I'm just asking, what are those two types of moving frame of reference?
Sir, inertial and non-inertial.
Very good, right? So these two types of moving frame of reference, I think like if you have attended my fluid mechanics lecture, there also we have discussed that is one is inertial, right? Another is non-inertial. So accelerating and non-accelerating, that's it, right? So if let's say the frame of reference is non-accelerating, so you can just assume that frame of reference as a stationary frame of reference. So because there is no acceleration, correct? So and if you are assuming your frame of reference as accelerating, then you will actually say that, okay, relative to this, we are going to study the motion of other bodies, right? So in that case, actually, you cannot assume that, okay, that frame of reference is stationary or not. So absolute motion, basically, absolute motion you can define either with respect to a fixed frame of reference, or let's say when the frame of reference is non-accelerating, that means it is going to move with a constant speed. And relative motion is better that we always define a relative motion with respect to, let's say, a accelerating frame of reference, right? So that's it. This is like a slightly in-depth concept, but right now you don't need to go into that much. So you have to just remember that if we are going to define the motion of a body relative to another body, then we will call it as a relative motion, right? Now let us talk something about vectors. Okay, so just tell me, what is a vector? If you have to define a vector in simple terms, right? So how can you define it?
So it has magnitude and direction.
Correct, right? So simply a vector is defined simply by magnitude and direction. Okay. Now, how to represent a vector, right? So these are like very basic things, but still I am discussing this. So how to represent a vector, correct? So let me first of all draw a fixed frame of reference. So let us say I am taking a fixed frame of reference, right? And this is our origin, right? And let us say this is some point A here, correct? Right? So let us say right now I'm talking of just displacement, right? Or you can say the position vector. So now if I, let's say, join this, right? If let's say if I join this point O and A with a straight line, and if I put an arrow, right, like this, then this vector, OA vector, it represents what? It represents simply the position vector of A with respect to O. That's it. So that is a simple way to represent a vector, right? Now, what I did, two important things which you have to remember. Let's say here, I have taken the position vector of A with respect to origin, right? So now, generally, in many books, you will find that they simply denote this with small letters, right? Just to avoid confusion. Rather than going for, let's say, the capital letters, they simply denote it with the small letters, but you can do it in either way according to your convenience, right? You can either go for capital letters or you can go for small letters. There is no issue, right? So now, again, this is your absolute position of point A with respect to O. Now let me discuss this thing, let's say in terms of a general vector. Let me talk about, let's say, some velocity vector, right? So again, we can represent in this velocity vector. So let's say if I have some velocity vector v vector, right, whose magnitude is given, let's say like it is given 5 meters per second, and the direction is given along this straight line, right? So again, you can represent this with a straight line, right? And now what you have to remember, this point, it is going to represent the tail, correct? And now this point, it is going to represent the head of that vector, right? So these are simple notations which we can use, right? So the point A will refer to the tail, the point B is going to refer to the head, and the direction will be from the tail towards the head, right? So now the magnitude is simply 5 meters per second. So that means if you consider that, okay, if you take a proper scale that, okay, 1 mm is equal to 1 meter per second, right? So what you can simply do, right? So this is the scale which you consider. So these are all basics which you have already studied, I think, in your basic 10th or 12th classes, right? So now you can simply draw a straight line of 5 mm and then you can show the direction, right? Now, how to pronounce this vector? See, now what I have done actually, I am representing, right, the velocity of point A and B with respect to a origin, right? So now what is this AB vector? Can anyone tell what is this AB vector? So it is it absolute or relative?
Absolute.
Right? So think about it again. Now I am talking about A, B. That means there are 2 points. Let's say there are 2 points A, then another point is B. One point is, let's say, moving with some velocity VA. Another point B is moving with some velocity VB. Right? So just tell me, what is this AB?
So relative motion, like velocity of A relative to velocity of B.
Right. So correct. So this is nothing. This is simply your representing your relative motion. Correct. Now, what is this AB vector representing? So let me mention this thing. This is very important. So now I'm talking in terms of, let's say, velocity. Right. So this is going to represent VBA. Now, what is this VBA? VBA is simply velocity of B with respect to A. That's it. So now, very, very important thing that you have to keep into mind, that if you are going to represent a vector such that the direction of that vector, it is pointing from A towards B, then you will read it as velocity of B with respect to A, correct? Now, this is one way to represent it, VBA, right? And another is simply you will write down this thing as AB, right? So either way you have to remember. If anyone write it down as AB, then you have to remember this is going to represent AB vector is what? AB vector is simply velocity of B with respect to A, right? And if it is written something like this, that is VBA vector, then it is simply velocity of B with respect to A, right? So many times people, they get confused, right? Because in many books, they simply provide this notation. That is, they synchronize their notation with this thing, right? So they write it down as VAB, that is velocity of B with respect to A, but never get confused, right? So this is the correct, is most appropriate way to write it down, right? So you have to simply remember that when you are using this notation V, then it will be pronounced as velocity of B with respect to A. And if you are writing it like this, then it will be velocity of B with respect to A, correct? Now, let us move ahead and let us talk about the addition or subtraction of vectors. So see, this is the simple representation of a vector. Now you can represent any vector in this form, right? So I'm just talking in context of velocity. That's why let us, for a few moments, let us focus on the velocity vector only. Right? Now, let us talk about addition and subtraction of vectors. So let us first discuss about the addition part. So let us say we have two vectors, right? So what are those two vectors? So let's say one vector which we have is OA, right? And then another vector which we have is, let us say, AB, right? So now what are the things which are given to us? So let's say I'm now talking in terms of given and what is the output which we desire. So that will make the things more clear, right? So now let us say what is given to us. VAO. I'm sorry. VAO, small letter. Right. So now what is this VAO? How are we going to pronounce it? Can anyone tell?
Velocity of A with respect to O.
Okay, so velocity of A relative to O. Okay, so now just tell me, what is this O in this case? This O, you can assume that this is our origin, right? So first of all, is this an absolute quantity or a relative quantity? This also you need to differentiate, right? So origin of some, let's say, frame of reference. This point O is some origin of a fixed frame of reference. So first of all, just tell me, this VAO, is it an absolute velocity vector or a relative velocity vector?
Relative.
Absolute.
It will be absolute, right? Because now I am talking that this is velocity of A with respect to some origin of a fixed frame of reference. So this thing you have to clearly differentiate. When you talk something with respect to a fixed frame of reference, then that will be your absolute velocity, right? So this is your absolute velocity. Now, this way VAO, we are representing this VAO by OA vector, right? So this is given to us. This is our OA vector. So the direction is also provided here. So both direction and magnitude, they are known to us. Now let us say, again, we are given that VAB. So what is this VAB? Velocity. Just tell me now what this VAB is going to represent.
Sir, it should not be VBA, so that velocity of B with respect to it.
Good. So now it should be VBA. Very good. Right. So I was just thinking about it, that if anyone is going to point out this thing, right? So this will be VBA, right? Now, what is VBA? It is simply velocity of B relative to O, right? So see, it's very easy to now decide, right? So it is pointing from A, the direction of vector, it is pointing from this A towards point B. So it will be velocity of B with respect to A, right? Rather than velocity of A with respect to B. Just remember this thing. So I think now this is becoming clear to you. So now VB is velocity
relative to
velocity
A.
of B with respect to A, correct? Now, how are we going to represent it? This is represented by AB vector in 3-dimensional space or in 2-dimensional space. Since we are talking of planar mechanism, so it is just a 2-dimensional space, right? So represented by AB. Now, what we are desiring to find out. Now, what we are interested in to find out the velocity, absolute velocity of point B. So this is our interest, right? That we are interested to find out the absolute velocity of point B. Okay, so how can we do that? Just can anyone guess, like how is it possible? If you have studied, see, two important laws are there which we generally apply. Can anyone remember what are those two laws when we talk of addition and subtraction of vectors? So there are two laws which we generally follow. So can anyone just guess it?
Parallelogram law.
And
Triangular law.
very good, right? So see, these two are very basic laws which we follow while discussing the addition or subtraction of factors, right? So now it is very easy to guess, means there is no need to go into very depth for this, right? We will come to this and you will be able to understand like what is going to happen, right? So now to find out absolute velocity of point B, what we simply do, see here, we simply draw the OA vector, right? We will start with the OA vector, OA, right? And then what we do, we take this relative velocity vector, AB vector, and we just slide this, in a direction parallel to this OA, right? And we keep the tail of this AB vector, right, at the head of this OA vector, right? So this is the simple thing we do, right? So now what we do simply, so this was our OA, right? And what we do, we simply bring that AB vector here. Why it is disappearing again and again? Now we simply bring our AB vector at this location, and now what we do, we simply join this. We simply join this B with respect to this point O, and now we simply indicate the direction, right? So if you observe, right, the direction of this OB vector, right, it is such that it is going to close this loop. If you clearly observe, it is going to close this loop OAB. So you have to keep the direction of this OB vector in such a way that it is going to close this loop OAB, right? So in a simple words, it will be opposite to the direction of basically these two vectors, that is OA vector and AB vector. So now very easily you can calculate that the absolute velocity of point B, that is VBO, is simply equal to, that is velocity of B relative to origin, okay, or relative to some fixed frame of reference. This is simply equal to VAO, right, plus V, right, BA, right? So now you can simply write it down in this way. That is OB is equal to OA plus AB. So I will suggest first you write down into this format, because this format is slightly easier to remember, right? So see what is going to happen here. This OB is nothing. This OB is simply equal to what? OA, right, plus AB, right? So this is the common letter here, if you observe in these two, right? So this common letter, that is the letter A, is eliminated and it simply becomes OB. So this is slightly easier to remember. Once you write it down, then you go for this. Now you can simply write down this into velocity vector form, that is this velocity of B with respect to A, O, right? And then if you observe here, velocity of A with respect to O, then velocity of B with respect to A. Right? Yeah, Himanshu, you want to ask something?
Yes, sir. So OB, OA, and AB are the vectors, so we have to write an arrow sign above them.
Yeah, see, that actually depends upon you. You can put a arrow sign. There is no problem, right? So,
but without arrow, it represents that scalar quantity.
Right. So correct. You can always put arrow sign in there, right? So that actually that is the correct way to actually write it down. But sometimes while doing calculations and all those things, right? So while moving quickly, I just eliminate them. Right. Otherwise, usually sometimes what happens, many people, they represent this with bold letters, right? So at that time they remove this arrow, right? Otherwise, it is better to always put this vector sign. Now OB vector is equal to simply OA vector plus AB vector. So I think this is clear. So now you can simply, what you can do, you can measure the length of OB, right? Length of OB. And then you can find out this OB vector, right? So now the direction is already clear to you, right? Now let us talk something about, let's say the reverse situation. So what will be the reverse situation? Reverse situation is this thing. So I'm discussing the other possibility as well. So what is given to us? Let us say OA vector is given to us, OB vector is given to us, and we need to find out this AB vector, right? So just tell me quickly. So now I'm just changing the direction of this OA vector. Now this is my OA, right? So any direction I can take right now for this OA OB, right? And now this is my, let us say, OB, right? Now just tell me that these are our given, and this thing we have to find out, right? So now the absolute velocities of point A and point B are given. Now this point A, it can be any point on a link or a mechanism. So I will come to that. Right now we are discussing in general, right? So now just tell me, how can we find out this AB vector, that is velocity of B with respect to A? So what we need to do in this case?
B minus OA.
So just tell me the steps, right? So see, this is, we are trying to solve it graphically, right? So just tell me like how can we solve this graphically?
Sir, we will shift OB and we'll coincide both the O points.
Right, correct.
Then we'll draw a vector between A and B.
Very good. Right? So see, again, this is very simple. What you need to do, see, always observe this common letter points. If you can spot this common letter points, the rest of the problem is solved, right? So see, these are the common letters, right? O, right? You simply, what you need to do, now you drag this OB vector and you place this OB vector at this point O, right? So you can start with anyone. Either you, let's say, keep this OB vector like this, and you can drag this OA vector and place this OA vector at this point O, right? So either way you can go. So let us say, now what I will do, I will simply take this OA and I will place this OB at this point, right? OB. And now what is my velocity of B with respect to A? So simply this will be this one. So this is something very important which we have to keep into mind, that now this is velocity of B with respect to A. So the arrow will be from A towards B. So many people actually, they get confused at this point, especially while mentioning the direction, right? So now AB vector is simply equal to, so you can write it in another form, right? So AB vector, so all other things are almost the same. So AB vector is simply equal to OB vector minus OA vector. That's it. Now just, can anyone tell, let us say, now if I'm interested, again, let's say the same things are given, right? OA vector is given, OB vector is given, right? And now I'm interested to find out BA vector, right? So now what is this BA vector? BA vector is simply velocity of A with respect to B. Velocity of A with respect to B. So here we will write down in this way, right? So VAB. Now just tell me quickly, right, what is this? How can we find out this BA vector? So what we need to do? So again, these two are given, OB, OA given. So how to find out this BA vector?
So similarly, by joining O and by drawing B to A vector line.
Okay, so now it is very simple. What you need to do, you just need to reverse the direction of this, right? Everything else, it is going to remain the same. Only the direction part is going to change, because we know the negative sign, it doesn't mean anything. The negative sign, it simply represents the direction, right? So now we will just reverse the direction of this one. And now this will be your velocity of A with respect to B, right? So see, this VAB vector is nothing. It is simply equal to minus of VBA vector. Right? So now here, this is the subtraction part, right? So this is how you are going to actually perform the addition and subtraction of vector. So see, this is just a graphical approach. And when we talk of this vectorial quantity, then we cannot do the simple algebraic sum or algebraic subtraction, right? In that case, you have to follow this parallelogram and triangle laws, right? So this is the way you are going to perform the addition and subtraction of factors. Now, let me give you one more example. Now, what I'm going to do, let me draw a number of factors. Okay. So now in this case, let us say these are the things which is given to me, right? What is given? OA vector is given, AB vector is given, BC vector is given, right? CD vector is given, right? Now, what we have to find out? Okay, so can anyone tell that what can we actually find out here? Which parameter is possible to find out here? So this is now, I think you can easily guess.
OD.
OD. So what is this OD? So this is simply what? Absolute velocity of point D, right? So this is some point D which is moving in a two-dimensional space, right? So now this is the absolute velocity of point D which we have to find out. So now how are we going to do that? Can anyone tell? How are we going to do that? So we will simply follow the things which we've done for this triangular pattern, right? So the same thing which we have to follow here also. So just tell me quickly that how are we going to do that?
So first we find OB.
Yeah, then
After
OC,
that OC and then OD. Yes, sir.
Correct, right? So if we have to follow the graphical approach, then how are we going to basically do it? So I am just interested to find out the absolute velocity of point D, correct? So how can we do that if I am just going to follow the graphical approach?
So first we connect both the A's and then we find OB. After that we connect both B and find OC. After that C
Right.
and then OD.
Right. So see, it is very simple to guess that it will be simply what? Nothing. In graphical approach, you simply first take this OA. Again, I am saying just to spot the common letters. So where are the common letters? So this is common letter, 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 correct? So all these common letters, they are possible to merge, right? Because in actuality or in reality, they are going to represent the same point, right? Nothing else. So now what we do, just draw this first vector OA, then drag this AB vector, right? Drag this AB vector and place this AB vector at this point A, right? So now how can you do that? You can simply use a roller scale or something. So just use a roller scale like this, right? And just drag this roller scale parallel to this OA vector. Or you can simply drag this like this, right? And you just keep your roller scale now here at this location and then draw this AB vector, nothing else. So now this is OA, AB, then this is your BC, right? And this is your CD. Now, what we are interested in actually, we were interested to, sorry, CD will be slightly longer, I have drawn. Oh, I'm sorry. Fine, that was fine. Right? So now we are interested in just to find out the velocity of this point D relative to O, that is absolute velocity of D. So just simply join these 2 points, right? So now velocity of D with respect to point A, O, so this will be, the arrow will be something like this. So now you can simply write down this OD. See, this is very easy to break it down, right? So OD is equal to simply what? First of all, OA plus AB, right? So OA, just see the order of letters, everything will become clear. So OA plus AB plus BC plus BC. So this is the absolute velocity of point. So I think now this is slightly clear to all of you, the addition and subtraction of factors, right? So now let us say now if I eliminate this, and then if we are interested to find out this BC, so it will be simply OD minus OA minus AB minus CD, right? So again, you have to perform the same approach, right? Only thing you need to judge is the direction of this. Right? So now this is your VDO vector. That is the absolute velocity of point D. Right? So for a moment, let me take a pause here and just tell me if you have any doubt till now. So any doubt to anyone? So is it clear? The vector addition to clear is clear. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Fine, is it fine? Okay, so see, if you don't get it, then watch it again and again, because this vectorial addition is very important, right? So see, right now I'm entirely discussing the graphical approach, because the graphical approach, it is the widely used approach for this velocity and acceleration analysis. The analytical approach is good from the point of view that analytical approach, you can always program in, let's say, codes, right? But the graphical approach, it has its own relevance, because the most of the scientists, engineers, right, when they actually build their mechanism in let's say industries, right, so they draw it on a, let's say, like sheet, and then they validate this velocity and then acceleration for this sheets, and then they calculate it, and then finally they go for the software analysis as well, right? So they do it in both the way, but the graphical approach is actually very much important. So now let us talk about, let us now start with the motion of a link and a point on a link. Now we will talk all these things in context to mechanism. Okay, so let me do one thing. Okay, so let me take this. Let me take this link OA. Right. So let us take this link OA and let us see what are the assumptions. Or you can simply say what are the things which are given to us, right? So see, try to always understand all these things in terms of what is given and what is required. That actually like make these problems easier to solve, right? Now, what is given? A rigid link OA, that is rotating at uniform angular velocity omega, right? And the direction is given in the counter clockwise direction, right? So this is provided to us. Another thing which is given, that is the length of this link OA is small r, right? So this is provided to us. Now what we are interested in, or to find out, we are basically interested to find out the absolute velocity of point A. Okay. So now if I write it down, let us call me this fixed point as O, right? So we can simply say that since this fixed point, this point O is fixed, what we can do, we can consider our frame of reference just as this location. Right? So we can fix our frame of reference at this point O, and we can simply say that absolute velocity of point A is nothing. It is velocity of point A with respect to O. Right? So this is simply equal to OA vector. Right? So this is we are interested to find out. Right? And what is given to us? R and omega. Okay. So I am just giving you this hint, right? So we are interested to find out this velocity of point A, and what is given to us? This radius R, that is length of this link OA, and the angular velocity of this link OA. That is this omega. Now this omega is constant. Just tell me quickly, what could be the velocity of this point A in terms of R and omega? Can anyone tell?
R omega.
So this is very easy, right? So I think then I don't need to discuss too much on this thing. So is this clear to all of you? How we arrive at this conclusion that it will be R omega? Shall I describe something about this, or is it clear? So how we decide this? Can anyone tell me how we decide this? That okay, this VAO is equal to R omega. So I'm just asking you how we derive it. How can we derive it? See, there is a famous formula which we use here, that is just simply called as what? That is angle equal to arc upon radius. So simply we assume that okay, within time delta t, this is going to move from A to A prime, right? So within time delta t, this point A is going to move from A to A prime, and this velocity of A is nothing. This will be this A prime A displacement divided by delta t. Now this displacement is arc. Arc is equal to angle into radius. So this angle, let us say this is our delta theta. So R delta theta by delta t. And now what is this delta theta by delta t? This is the rate of change of this angular displacement with respect to time, which is nothing, which is omega. So this is the simple derivation, nothing else. See, all these derivations, many times like students, they are not interested in derivations, right? So this is just a simple derivation, but let's say there are many complex derivations. So what I have observed, even many times the students, they ignore this derivation, or they are not interested in derivations at all, right? Even in fluid mechanics also, many times when I was teaching these derivations, right? So see, solving numerical problem is one part, that is also very important, right? But derivations are important for understanding the concepts, right? So if you are ignoring the derivation, then really it becomes very difficult to understand like what is going behind that, right? Or what is the real principle which we are applying and we are reaching this conclusion. So once you actually go through the derivation, then the whole picture becomes clear, right? So always try to think in that direction, right? So from where, if any question is given to you, so from where it originated, right? This is very important to understand. Now, let us go back to our topic. This is now R omega. Now, if I have to represent this in a space, right? So then I will need two things. One is magnitude and another is direction, right? So how can I represent it graphically? Can anyone tell? So how I'm going to represent this OA vector?
Sir, it will point tangentially to this.
Okay, so very good. So see, VAO vector, the magnitude is known to us. That is R omega, right? This is known. And what will be the direction? Direction is simply what? This velocity of this point A, it will be actually perpendicular to this link OA, right? So this is very obvious. I don't need to, I think, discuss too much into this. So we all know that this A, it is moving tangentially, right? It is moving tangentially relative to this point O. So now this velocity of point A, it will be actually perpendicular to this link OA, right? So now direction will be simply perpendicular to OA. So how are you going to draw this? So simply see, to draw this, what you have to do, simply okay. So see, generally I'm drawing here, but one thing you can do, you will always have a roller scale. So place your roller scale somewhere here, right? So actually, if it would have been, let's say, like a live class, then I would have shown you with a roller scale. But here, like sometimes it becomes difficult. So you just place your scale here, any scale, roller scale or whatever you wish. So you just place your scale here and you just drag this scale, right, parallel to this link OA. That's right. So you just drag this, right? And you bring it here, and now you can simply represent this OA vector something like this. So this is your point O, right? And now this is OA vector is perpendicular to this, right? So this line is always perpendicular. So you can simply write it down this like in this way. O, then, okay. Okay, let me draw it. Okay, so I have drawn it like this. So now just tell me quickly that is there any mistake which I am doing here?
That is direction.
Right. So why the direction? The direction will be just the opposite of this, right?
Yes.
Why? What is the reason?
Sir, because it is rotating counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise direction. Very good. So now just remember. So these are small things which you have to keep into your mind. Right? Right. So you can simply write down it like this. O point you can take here, and this will be your simply. Right. So this is the direction, and this is how you are going to represent the vector. So this is for just a simple point, or let's say a single link. Okay. So see this in this topic you need to focus too much, right? Because this topic is one of the toughest topic in the entire mechanical engineering, right? So this velocity still you will get something, but when it comes to acceleration, then you need to like focus too much, because acceleration is much more complex than velocity analysis, and you will not find a let's say like such a difficult topic in entire mechanical engineering courses, right? So but I will try to make it easier for all of you, right? So at wherever you don't understand, and if you have any particular feedback regarding this chapter, especially this chapter, so just send me, right? So if you need to, let's say like go very slow, then just ask me that, sir, we need to go slow. And if you need to go, let's say like some fast or something, then you can ask it at any time. So now this is your representation. Now let us move further. Sorry. So again, we have this link OA. Now what I'm interested in to find out the velocity of this point to B, right? So now here, what I'm interested in to find out velocity of B relative to O, or you can simply say absolute velocity of B, right? So how can we do that? Can anyone guess? How is it possible? So now see, only thing is given that this is going to rotate in what? This direction, counterclockwise direction, and the length of this
radius would change. I mean,
very good. So radius will change, right? So see, a simple way to find out this thing is what? See, we always know that if let's say I calculate OB, right? So OB vector is simply equal to what? So it is simply OB, right? This length OB multiplied by omega. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now OA vector. What is this OA vector? This is OA multiplied by omega. Is it fine? Or simply R omega? Right. Now, if you divide this OB vector divided by OA vector, so it will be simply what? OB divided by OA, right? So OB vector is what? OB vector is simply equal to OB divided by OA multiplied by OA vector. Now if you take the magnitude, so magnitude of OB vector is simply equal to OB divided by OA into magnitude of OA vector, right? So now this is very easy. In this way, you can calculate this ratio OB by OA, right? And you can then simply what you can do, you can mark this point. Sorry, you can always mark this point on this vector OA. So let's say like if you observe, okay, let me draw this thing again here. So OB vector, let me draw it here only, right? So this is my OA vector somewhere here. Let us say I'm drawing like this. OA vector, right? So just tell me like, where shall I mark this point B? So this point B, will it be close to A or will it be close to O? So considering that right now I am consider this point in middle, right? So just tell me where I am going to mark this. So I have considered this point B just in the middle of this link OA. So where should I mark this point B, right? Small b.
Close to O.
Think about that. See, I am just considering this point B in the middle of this link OA.
So between OA.
So where I'm going to mark it? See, this is very easy. Now, if you go to this, so we know that OB, right? So right now I'm taking the magnitude. So I'm just removing this vector sign, right? So it will be simply OB. Now this B, it is at the center of this link OA. So we can write down this OA as 2 times of OB multiplied by OA. So OB is simply equal to what? OA divided by 2, right? So now just tell me where to mark this point small b.
Midpoint of OA.
Right. So at the midpoint of OA, simply here at this location. Right? So I think this is now clear to all of you. So what is OB vector? OB vector will be simply represented like this. Right. So now this is how you can find out the velocity of point B relative to O. So just keep this entire picture into your mind. So this is a simple analysis that if there is a link, so generally we are interested to find out the velocity of that link, right? And if any point that is going to exist on that link, what could be the possible motion for that, right? So see, now this is how all the things are going on. And if you observe, let's say like why I am talking of velocity mechanism directly, not going to displacement, because this is very easy to observe that this OB vector, OA vector, they are being added in the same way which you are going to do for the displacement also, right? So for displacement also, you are going to follow the same approach. There will be no difference. Only thing which is going to change. Can anyone tell, like if you are going for displacement approach, right? So what will change here? See, vectorial addition, all those things, all these things will remain the same. So what is going to change here basically? So how we define a vector? A vector is defined by 2 things, magnitude and direction, correct? So if you are going to follow the displacement approach, only these 2 things will change, magnitude and direction, and the addition, subtraction law, all these things, they are going to remain the same. So maybe the magnitude of this OB will be different, OA will be different, right? So something like that. Now, let us move ahead and let us talk about of a 4-link mechanism. So now this is very important. After this, I think today we are going to wind it up, because for today, I think this much will be enough for all of you. So 4-link mechanism. Okay. So let me draw a 4-link mechanism first here. Okay, so this is a four-link mechanism which is given to us, right? And it is obvious the length of this AB, BC, CD, C, all these things are known, right? So the lengths of all the links are known, right? So now what we are interested in here generally, first of all, we are interested to find out the velocity of point C, correct? Velocity of point C. So whenever I say that velocity of point C, that means absolute velocity, right? Relative to E, something like that. So we can simply write it down as okay, fine. So let us discuss this thing later on. Now let us start with this thing. See, so first of all, what is given to us? This omega is given, right? And the direction of rotation of this link AB, it is provided to us. And now what we are interested in, we are interested to find out the velocity of this point C. This is our first goal, right? So see, observe here very, very carefully, right? You should be very careful here. So I am now going to detail all the steps one by one. So first of all, see, what do you mean by velocity of point C? Point C relative to A, that means simply we need to find out VCA vector. And this could be written something like this also, that is AC vector. Okay. So first of all, right, let me discuss something here, that can we write this VCA vector in any other form also? Can we write down this VCA vector in any other form also? So simply
minus CA, sir.
Okay. So what actually I'm trying to say, see, absolute velocity of point C, that means the velocity of this point C with respect to some fixed frame of reference. So now if you observe in this link, how many points are fixed? How many points are fixed? So this is the first question which you have to ask to yourself. A and D, when you are going to analyze any mechanism, how many points are fixed? So 2 points, A and D. So that means if I am writing down this as VCA vector or AC vector or any vector, that is VBA vector, or let's say like FA vector. So we can all write down these vectors in two forms. So one is VCA vector and another is one CD vector. So this thing, first of all, you have to remember that how many points are fixed there. So now we can write down this is in this form also, that is velocity of C with respect to DC vector. So first of all, this thing you have to remember. Now, how to start this? So now we will take this point A and D at the same location. So now I'm going to discuss basically the graphical way to solve this, right? So let me take these 2 points A, D at the same location. Always remember the fixed point, it will be represented by a single point, and that point you have to consider at the same location, right? Now let us move ahead. Now let us move ahead and let us now, first of all, draw the known vectors, right? So let us first draw the vectors. Okay, how much time is left? Okay, let's do one thing. Let us stop for today. I think this will be too much for all of you. So we will discuss this part later on, because I can go ahead, but I think like just take some time to recapitulate this vector addition and all those things. Then we will take this in the next session, right? Maybe today it could be too much difficult for all of you. Okay, so till this point, any other doubt like in vector addition and all this, how to represent a vector? Any doubt? till this point? Anyone?
No, sir.
Okay. So